big, warm welcome to you all. And thank you so much for joining us today, for braving the pandemic and coming across here. Sometimes you need to take a small step, which you hope will become a big leap, which will right a wrong that is centuries old. Last year, JK Paper and Times of India got together for exactly taking such a step, which we hope will right the wrong of centuries. We launched Women Author Awards. These are the awards that recognize women writing. And women have been writing amazing, trailblazing books for years and years, for centuries. But somehow or the other, they have not really found their place in the sun all the time. They have not got the same accolades. They have not got the same space on bookshelves in bookshops. They have not got the same reviews. And they have not got the same status as a lot of male authors have got. And living in traditionally male-dominated societies, women have always been their voices have been throttled. So here is a chance with the Women Author Awards to get those voices heard. Women were discouraged from telling their stories, because when you enable a woman to tell her story, you are empowering her. And when you empower a woman, there are people around who get threatened. So that has been going on for centuries and centuries. And now we are here hoping to change those things. Almost all our written records of history are stories told by men. They are stories told by men about men. And whenever a story was told about a woman, it was to applaud her male attributes. So when you praised George Eliot, you praised her for her manly brain. When you talk about Rani Jhansi, you call her Mardani. So that is why she's still remembered for her qualities of being Mardani. Despite centuries of some great women writers having written wonderful literature, today women's writing still continues to be a sideshow. And women are generally still ignored for most literary awards. In a recent article, Shashi Deshpande reveals that till date, only 8% of all Sahitya Academy awards have gone to women. And the surprising thing here is that though caste domination kind of ended earlier with these awards, the gender domination still exists. It was only in 2020, last year, after 64 years of these awards, that the first woman Hindi poet got awarded, got recognized. Other awards are no different. Of the 117 individuals who have received the Nobel Literature Prize, 101 have been men and only 16 women. The scene with the Booker is slightly better. So far, 31 men and 16 women have received the Booker Prize. But there is still a deep gender disparity which emerges when you look at the characters who are written about in these books. So there was a study conducted, artificial intelligence was used to conduct this study, and it was discovered that most of the books that had been shortlisted for Booker have male characters, have male dominating characters, and there is a disparity, there is a prejudice in the way that men are described and the women are described. The man is always shown as powerful, as rich, as the protagonist of the story, and the women are described as beautiful and romantic. And those are the stories that have really done well and won the awards. So the beautiful or romantic woman, she cannot be powerful and rich and all. And then there was a study that was done by a novelist, Nicola Griffith, which also proved that novels in which the main character is female have won fewer awards than the ones where the male character dominates. And the more prestigious the award, the more the imbalance it seems. And so when she studied the books that were shortlisted, the awards that were given between 2000 and 2015, she realized that not a single book from a woman's perspective or written about a woman was considered worthy of the Pulitzer Prize in all these 15 years, from 2000 to 2015. The history of if you consider the history of an earlier women's award, you will get an idea of what women's writing is up against. So back in the year 1991, the Booker shortlist did not have a single woman author. In 1992, it had about 10% of the names were women authors and the rest were all male authors. So this group of women got together and they started a Women's Prize for Fiction to help promote and award female authors. And this was started in 1995. Mitsubishi was to be the sponsor, but they pulled out even before the first award was given. A new sponsor, Orange, took over. And for some time, this was called the Orange Prize for Fiction. Orange withdrew with their support, and they were back to being called the Women's Prize for Fiction. Then along came Bailey Irish Cream, and Bailey Irish Cream supported the award, and it became the Bailey Prize for Women's Writing. Recently, Bailey also opted out, and now it is back to being the Women's Prize for Fiction, supported by family sponsors, whoever or whatever they may be. Will women's writing get a fillip because of the JK Paper TOI Author Awards? Of course it will. It will, but it will take a long time, because it will take a long time to step away from the ideas that negate women's writing and try to bring down whatever books that are brought out by women. But prizes and awards do help, and they make a difference. The visibility of books increases as a direct result of prizes that are given out by established institutions. Sales increase, and it excites the awards given to the women authors excite publishers to accept more and more books from women authors. With this in mind, we at the Times of India are truly appreciative of the vision of Mr. Singhania and his team of men in insisting that we institute a women's only literary award. And the question never was, nor is, whether women write better than men, or vice versa. The point is that women should be read as writers, not as women writers. The point is that when a woman writes, it should not be presumed that what she's writing is any less than what a man writes, or any inferior or marginal just because of her gender. In an ideal world, there would be no need for a separate Women Author Award. But till we reach that utopia, we all need to be feminists, as Chimamanda famously said. And I have no doubt in my mind that soon one day will arrive when we will not have Women Author Awards or Men Author Awards. We'll just have awards for authors, just author awards. You've been told that we got over 1,000 entries. It was actually quite a pleasant surprise for us. Last year we had about 850 entries. This year we thought we would have much less because of the pandemic, and we were not very confident of the fact that a message would have reached out to people, because a lot of people had stopped reading newspapers or picking up newspapers at some point, and then they started again, of course. But the message seems to have reached across, and people remember last year's awards and how, and they really talk about it. We got more than 1,000 entries. It was a tough task to go through them, but we were helped, of course. We had a very good panel of judges, and we shortlisted the books and gave across to the judges. There were 3 panels of judges, one for fiction, one for non-fiction, one for debut, and for children. Each panel had 3 judges with 1 chair. They went through all the books that were given to them, read them carefully, discussed them, and decided the award, and then announced the long list, and then the short list right after that. And the winners are here. Most of them are. Some of them have not been able to make it. Some of the judges also have not been able to make it, but we really understand their concerns and the reason that they were not able to come across. But the rest of them are here, and the winners who couldn't make it have all been kind enough to send across recorded messages for us, and they're all delighted. I must take the opportunity to sincerely thank Mr. Singhania for his keen interest and attention to detail for these awards all along, and the judges for their time and the expertise, the time they spent on going through the books and then talking to each other and deciding, and our team at TOI for their unstinting efforts and planning in executing this wonderful function, and certainly our audience for today. You all deserve a round of applause for braving the pandemic and coming across here to show up in such amazing numbers and be a part of this event. Thank you very much, everyone.